All right, so here we are ready to go. Our canvas is all slick, got good distribution, good thin even coat of liquid white, ready to keep rolling on to video number 2. We're going to do the sky and then the bottom color. Maybe we'll have some water, definitely just have some underpainting for the color for our snow to sit on. So let's mix up a great purple color and get going. So I've got alizarin crimson. I'm trying to take about 2/3 of my pile of alizarin crimson. That's probably, 2 strong peanut M&Ms worth there. So let's just smush that out on the palette. And I'm going to take about 25% of that amount of my phthalo blue. So 4 parts alizarin crimson, 1 part, give or take, on the phthalo blue. I'm just going to pick this up and smush it together here on my palette. As I get it going here, I'm just going to scrape it several times. You hold that so you can see it, because just scrape it up, smush it out, and if you see the work spot underneath where I'm picking that up, it's starting to turn purple. That's the color I'm getting, because my pile just looks super, super dark, almost black, which is totally fine. I like a good dark purple. And I really don't want it leaning much to the red or the blue side. I really was shooting for a great purple color. It's one of my dear friend's favorite color. And unfortunately, he was taken from us way too soon. But I always think about my buddy Tim when I'm doing purple Splendor, because I know he loved the color purple. All right, well, that is a beautiful color purple we've got mixed up. Let's see how it's looking on the camera. Can you see that? I'm just scraping it up. See what I mean by this color left on the work area? That's the color I'm going to have on the canvas. So let's just pull that out real good and flat. We'll tap into that with our 2-inch brush and get going. I do keep myself a good stack of paper towels right here out of camera. I've probably got, I don't know, a dozen paper towels torn off the roll and folded over, just so they're ready to go and ready to be useful. So let me show you how I'm going to load the brush. You don't have to get crazy with this, but just take your brush. It's the same one I did that liquid white application with, and I'm just going to tap into that part where I pulled it out flat. I just don't want any clumps in the end of my brush. I want it nice and smooth, so tap, tap, tappy, tap, tappy, tap. You'll see how nice and smooth that's getting on your palette. That's what's happening on your brush. So you get it nice and smooth there. A few streaks are okay, but I've got a pretty good covering of purple there. And so now let's just go with our crisscross strokes in the sky. Doesn't matter which corner you start on. I think on my first painting I started on the left corner, so this one I'll start on the right. Just start very gently. Take a look-see. You can always stop about here and go, how do I feel about that color? That looks pretty good in purple to me, so I'm digging that. Let's keep rolling. If I make my way over here to the left-hand side, you can see I'm kind of running out of purple color there. Gently work my way back across if I want to. I'm being careful not to flatten out this whole sky. I'm going to have a little more uniformity in the sky this time, because we're not going to do clouds. We are going to add a mountain range to this. You can see most of my purple has come out of the end of that brush, and it traded it for the liquid white that's up there. So I'm just going to take it, wipe out that little bit of liquid white, pick up some more color. I do want my sky a little bit darker than that, because this is a winter scene. This time I'll start over here, just adding a little more color. There we go. And let's work our way down now. So working across, certainly not worried about being straight across here. I'm running out of color again, so let's do our wipe out the liquid white. Find myself a clean spot in that paper towel. Find myself a good spot there. Loading the brush the same way. I'm just not holding my palette today. Still working on exactly the layout of the camera and how we'll do this every time. So just bear with me there if you would. So we've darkened that side up a little bit. That's more what I'm looking for in the sky. Let's do that same thing coming in from the right. So I'll pick up a little more color for that. Just play with this back and forth. Always easier to add more paint. So good advice to live by in this method is start with a little, start with light pressure. You can always add a little more. And just go for it. Just see what happens. If you don't like something, you can adjust the color. If you really don't like it, you can scrape it off real good with a knife, wipe that joker down with a paint thinner, let it dry, start again. Nobody will know but you. And you get some good practice. You learn something to definitely do or not do next time. Certainly was not wasted time. All right, let's do another little band of darker, and then we'll put in some color at the bottom real quick, and that's all we're going to need to do for the sky and the ground prep, water prep. Not sure exactly what we'll have there. Ooh, that's good and dark. I like that. We'll smooth that out a little bit. But see, I got some streaks there. That's because I did not tap as much and smooth that out on my palette. But watch. Just kind of blend those a little bit, and look, they just look like they're some flavor in our sky. Just gently blending. I'm dancing around a little bit. You can see I've got some lighter areas here in the middle. That's totally fine. Those will look like clouds or just different kind of strengths in the sky. I'm going to let that get pretty clear right there. So I'm happy with what I've got there so far. I'm going to wipe this out. Let's step back and take a look at it. I like the way it's looking on the camera for you there. Is that focusing on the part I'm hoping it is? I think so. I think so. And now let's blend from here at our horizon back up towards the darker part. I don't want to move a lot of color here. I just want to just smooth out any rough edges. Just make it all play nice together. Got my paper towel in my hand so I can wipe out any paint that I'm picking up as I go. Super gentle here, super gentle. Blending is not much pressure. Just like adding more paint, it's way easy to go back and blend again or add more pressure versus just flattening something out and destroying all that work you just did. And there you go. The more we go over it, the softer it's going to look. And I am feeling pretty good about what we got there. Yeah. All right, let's pick up a little more paint. I've just wiped it out again. We're just going to add some color here to the bottom. Don't really know what we're going to have, so I'm not too worried about this. This is just going to be some underpainting for either some snow coverage. We may put a frozen kind of pond, little lake area in the front of this. Yeah, we probably will. I love painting water in. So we just need a little color. Don't need much. Don't need much. It's also a great way to clean off that extra purple we picked up on our 2-inch brush in case we're going to use this brush later and don't feel like going through the whole cleaning procedure. So you can see I am pretty well back to just a whisper of purple there. Picked up a lot of liquid white. I'm going to wipe out this brush. Yeah, you can see that. I left this open area on purpose. So doing that, I was having pressure outside the canvas. I'm only using the brush in one direction. Those brush strokes are horizontal. Did the same thing from the other side, but I used the other side of the brush. See, look, here I went from the outside in, so it's using this side of the brush. On this side, just use the other one. So you use all the paint you've got there. Keep those strokes horizontal. Want this pretty flat. And then wiped out my brush, and let's do a blending pass. It's going to pull some color across that middle, and it'll just look like a shimmer of light coming across our field, our pond, our river, our lake, whatever that turns out to be there at the bottom. So there you go. Went a little longer on this one. I'm still working on not jibber jawing so much and speeding these up. You should have a setting though. If you're watching this and this while you're enjoying the painting, it's just going too slow for you. Go down to the little gear at the bottom of your screen, kind of hover over where it'll pop up the little timeline. Click on that settings. You should have the option to go up to 2 times playback speed. I sound a little bit like a chipmunk in talking that way, but it'll happen a lot faster and in this 10-minute video, you'd watch it in 5. It's pretty easy math to do. So we'll see you in video number 3, moving on Purple Splendor.